welcome everyone to today's L&D Executive Round Table on transformative learning. And for everyone who's new on the call and hasn't joined us for any of our previous events, I will give a short introduction of what to expect from today and what these events are about before we start with the actual program. So we host these events on a regular basis as networking events for the L&D space, and the audience is usually comprised of high-level learning and development professionals, or trainers as well, coaches, other L&D service providers. Oops, pardon me. And depending on the topic, sometimes C-level executives as well. And the reason we are hosting them is really that we want to provide a platform for professionals in the L&D space to have a chance to come together and exchange ideas and best practices, and really see this as a networking opportunity internationally as well, to connect with like-minded people. And what you can expect from today, the way we structure them usually, is that we build these events on a specific or around a specific focus topic. So today, as mentioned, is about transformative learning. And we have an external speaker on who's giving a keynote speech on the topic. So I will introduce the speaker in a bit more detail as well in a minute. And after that, we want to open up this session really for everyone to engage, maybe give a quick introduction, but then also share a bit more from their experience and ask questions on the topic, of course, and really try to make it a bit more of an interactive forum as well. And at this point, I would quickly hand over to Christian, who's the CEO of Blue Elephant Solutions, today's host. And he's just going to give a short introduction as well of who we are as an organization.
Thank you, Max. Maybe also as a background why we, Max mentioned most of it, but our background is actually also we have been in learning and development ourselves. I've been in charge for learning and development for Siemens Healthineers for quite a long time in Asia Pacific. And I was always looking for not quantity of information. You'll find a lot of information in the internet, but really have a small group of experts coming together, same as we have in this meeting today, to really share a little bit more in depth, to start networking with them, and to maybe have even follow-up calls with them to understand, hey, how are you doing this? How do you solve this problem? What's your strategy here? To really get some quality out of it and not just mass of information. A little bit background to Blue Elephant Solutions. So we were founded 2019, and we focus on building our own learning management solutions and learning tools, which really across the entire learning experience chain. But we also do custom developments for clients. So for example, one of our big clients is the Singapore Institute of Technology, a big university. For them, we develop plenty of learning tools. And of course, we also include a lot of AI features at the moment into the tools, not for the sake of including AI. A lot of companies say, hey, we need to do something with AI, figure something out, but really because we believe AI can really drive the mass customization of learning content to the learners and can really open up completely new areas. For example, one of our tools, the AI coach, which you see here in the middle, you can practice conversations, for example, a sales conversation or a conversation with your employees. So you can use it for leadership management. It's a really, really great tool, and we can just encourage every company out there to look into not just do something with AI, but really think about how you can use it in your learning experience and really make it more fun again to learn and really customize it to the individual learners. Yeah, but today topic is not on AI, and I'm really looking forward what Pratik prepared for us and having the in-depth discussion later on. Thanks.
Thanks, Kristen. Then we start with the actual program at this point, and I'm very happy to introduce today's speaker to everyone. So we're joined today by Pratik Naik. Thanks, Pratik, again for taking the time today. So Pratik is the global L&D lead at Qualys, which is a leading cybersecurity organization. And he has around 10 years experience in the L&D space in total, also across other leading organizations like Credit Suisse, for example. And in his role, his responsibility really includes learning programs for his organization, really from an initiating phase to developing it and facilitating it and really driving learning programs. And very importantly, making sure that on one hand, the learning programs are actually engaging for the employees. And on the other hand, making sure that they're also really effective and align with organizational goals. So very important as well. So yeah, very much looking forward to his insights today. Pratik also has been recognized just last year with the Thought Leadership and L&D Award, which is a really, really cool recognition. It's actually an award for people or L&D leaders that is being awarded for very forward-thinking perspectives, very innovative strategies that help shaping the L&D space. So really, really cool accomplishment. And last but not least, Pratik also publishes a newsletter on LinkedIn that's called Learning Hub. And I can only encourage everyone to have a look as well, because it's really interesting articles on tips and tricks around professional learning, well worth a visit as well. And with this, again, thank you, Pratik, so much for taking the time. I would hand over to you, and you can start sharing your screen, and looking forward to your presentation.
Thank you, Max, for inviting me to this session. And I'll just quickly share my screen. Let me know if you are able to see my screen.
Yeah, we can.
Great. Thank you again, once again, Christian and Max, for inviting me to this great session over here, and inviting me to share my perspective as well on the L&D space to help the other L&D folks as well who have joined the session. And I'm really happy to share the insights and my experience into this. So I'll be presenting to you on today's topic, which is on transformative learning. So before we do that, I want everyone to understand what is transformative learning. So it's most important to understand any of the things which we start with, be it any project, be it any learning. We need to understand what is the importance of it, right? And why we are doing that. That's the key thing which is going to help us to move forward, right, in the further direction. So I firmly follow one of the very good TED speakers. You might be aware about him as well. His name is Simon Sinek. He has written a very good book known as Know Your Why. He has also TED Talks on this particular topic. I really I request everyone to go and read this book. That is really great, and it's going to help you a lot. So first and foremost, we must understand that why you think transformative learning is important for L&D professionals, right? So as I mentioned, we need to understand this key point, and then we need to determine why it is important to have a transformative learning into the L&D space. The most important aspect over here, which involves in transformative learning, is about deep fundamental shifts in perspective and behaviors. So most important is to go beyond our regular work which we are doing, and see to it that how we can transform the individuals from a learning perspective, right? That's the key thing which we need to focus upon, because unless and until we don't focus upon building the individuals, right, as an L&D professionals, so it's going to be a challenge for the rest of the world as well, right? Because today we are in a world of technology, and as rightly Christian mentioned, right, about the AI, which is a very hot topic nowadays, right? So we need to keep ourselves raised up upon this, and we need to see that how we can transform the individuals, to help fostering personal growth for them. Along with this, it also includes transformative learning, majorly includes about shifting the individual mindset from a fixed to a growth mindset. In this, people believe that they can be developed through their dedication, effort, and learning. This is very important aspect, my dear folks, because We see individuals many a times that, they are not eager to learn, or they want to learn, but they don't have right direction to learn, right? So we as L&D professionals need to understand that, it's important for us to move the growth people from strict mindset into the growth mindsets. So that's how it's going to embrace individuals to embrace the challenges, persistent pace of setbacks, and see failures as an opportunity in learning and development. Because I never say that, like success is everything, right? We must reverse back and say that, failure is everything, because that's how you learn from things, right? And that's how it leads you to success from the failure. Again, moving to next point on importance of transformation learning for L&D professionals. Now, this is again, which helps in and encourage in critical thinking, self-reflection, and adaptability. These are the very key topics which are there. Now, what exactly is the importance of it? Let's deep dive into that. So facilitates deep learning. So basically, transformative learning, helps into deep learning for individuals. When, as I mentioned earlier as well, right, shifting the focus from fixed mindset to growth mindset, right? So when the individuals are, helped by the L&D professionals in the organizations to deep dive, right, into a deep learning, so it helps them facilitate, gain more insights. It promotes lasting change. So basically, when we, have this transformative learning in place, it helps and promotes lasting change. It has a good impact on the individuals as well. It supports personal growth along with this, because as I mentioned, like, individuals get a chance to learn, and when they have the urge of learning, they can obviously grow into their personal career as well, right? And they need to keep themselves updated and braced up always. It enhances adaptability as well along with this. Most important aspect or key point I would like to focus here is about three key things which I would like to focus upon is like, learn, unlearn, and relearn. So all L&D professionals must keep this in mind that, we always need to learn, we need to unlearn, and we need to relearn again. So these things, not only for L&D professionals, but when they articulate this into the industry, right? When they articulate this into their organizations, they need to focus upon these three key aspects, because this is very important to move into the transformative learning, journey for all the individuals who are there into the organization. And last and not the least is about the transformative learning, which drives organizational change. So again, as I mentioned, right, when we are, sorted, and when we need things in right place, right, we are moving into the right direction. That's how when we create a learning culture for the organizations. And it's more important about how we drive this, right? Because at the end of the day, we need to see to the individual's growth. Along with that, we also need to see that how we are helping our organization grow as well in the right direction. So what is the benefits of organizational success for transformative learning? When we incorporate transformation learning, we always, help in enhanced problem solving. Then we also help in increased innovation. This is a very key aspect now that, AI also is in place, right? So many organizations and many L&D professionals are moving to, AI based learning or AI based software, right? But I, never say that 100% AI is going to work. We need human intervention some of the other way, right? But at the end of the day, as the organizations are moving, into a fast paced world, we also need to see that, how we can leverage the AI in right manner. Along with that, we also need to see how we can innovate things using the help of AI. Along with this, it also helps the organizations to have improved adaptability. So transformative learning is going to help your organizations adapt to new things, right? When you move from, say, a normal LXP to a learning experience platform to an LMS, or you drive that LXP into the LMS tool, right? So that's how you're going to improve the adaptability for the end users as well. Because at the end of the day, when a user gets everything into one place, it's going to help them, for their organizational success, because they get to see everything in one place. It's not that they have to go to rounds and rounds to just see and, have the access to learning platforms. But at the end of the day, we also L&D professionals must see that they get, enhanced collaboration as well. We should focus upon this, and also higher employee engagement. So we can have learner challenges created for employees. We can drive success on L&D matrix as well. We can help individuals. Along with that, we also need to align with the leadership teams as well to have a proper collaboration. And also we need their engagement as well in driving into transformation success. Last and not the least, it's all about inclusive culture. This inclusive culture will surely help organizations grow in the right direction, because having inclusive culture is about including every aspect of individuals, from the entry level executive to the leadership team, right? So we need to include everyone into this learning journey. So what I have done is I have also designed the key components of an effective L&D strategy. So I have divided this into four parts, if you see. So first is about personalized learning paths. So as I mentioned, right, so we L&D professionals can, create learning paths for respective employees' development, and that can be aligned with the PDP goals for the individuals at the organization level. So there are two aspects to this, that it will help them adaptive learning new technologies, and along with that, it will also help them, reach the organizational goal as well. Next part is about the integration with business goals. Now, aligning training with objectives of industry or the organization is a major thing over here in today's world. We need to measure the impact as well about what all we are targeting. So basically, we need to see that whatever implementations we are having into the integration, along with that, we need to see the impact, like how many hours have been spent by the individuals, right, into that particular learning, or how we are helping the individuals have a collaborative culture by fostering and knowledge sharing. So here again, I would like to mention about peer learning, which can be really effective when there is peer-to-peer learning, right? So things can move in a faster pace. People can learn new things in an easier way. And obviously, the community of practice should be followed. Like, we can have communities created, L&D communities created, and people can, share their learnings over there. And again, as I mentioned, peer-to-peer learning can be beneficial over here. Last but not the least, again, moving to the continuous learning culture. So I always, believe that learning is never ending for all of us, right? It's a continuous journey. There may be ups and downs, there may be success and failures, but at the same time, we need to see that how we are, continued with this learning journey. It's not about what we thought of it would be, but we always need to learn, unlearn, and relearn. Again, I'm stressing on these three aspects because, these are the three key things which are going to help us, an individual, as an L&D professional, or as an employee as well, right, to succeed in our organizational goals. Along with that, it will help us to move into a right direction. So my last piece of point over here would be on future of work for transformative learning. So many times we say that, how future of work will evolve, or, how what will be the future of work for L&D professionals, because now that AI has been coming into the picture. So how it's going to benefit, in what way and what direction for all in the L&D professionals. So as the workplace evolves, adaptability and continuous learning is going to be more crucial. Right. So again, as I mentioned, we need to develop strategies on how we can foster a collaborative learning culture and inclusive learning culture for all the employees, in the organization level. Next will be about, how transformative learning, will help the employees, for lifelong learning. So as I mentioned, like, learning is a key aspect, but again, when we add a continuous word to it, right? So continuous learning is going to help the employees and, have the capabilities enhanced as well in the near future, because technologies come and go. Every day there is a new technology coming into the market, right? But again, how we help as an L&D professionals to these individuals, right, or the employees, to be a certain and, to update themselves, keep themselves updated. So it's totally upon the L&D professionals how we are going to take it forward from there. And last but not the least, building resilience. So this again will help employees navigate uncertainty and embrace the change of proactively. Future of work will totally depend upon these three key aspects. There are many to be added to this as well. Again, the perspectives from each of the L&D professions can be different. The thought process can be different. Because, as our five fingers are not same, right? So the thought process can be different from an individual perspective. But these are which I personally think would be the future of work for transformative learning. And with this, I conclude my presentation. And if there are any questions, I'm happy to answer.
Thank you, Pratik. Quickly reshare my screen. Okay. Right. Then, yeah, thank you very much for the insightful presentation, especially actually giving like an insight into yeah, the L&D strategy, the framework that you presented there. Yeah, thank you very much for that. And at this point, we want to open this session up a little bit. I think we're a bit of a smaller round today. Probably some people already on their way to the weekend, but we still have yeah, Mohini with us as well. And yeah, really, again, thank you, Pratik. And I think at this point, yeah, just if anyone has any questions to Pratik about the topic, or maybe share a bit more about their experience with yeah, transformative learning, or how they approach learning in their organizations as well. The idea is really to have an open exchange on those things, so everyone can yeah, leave this event with maybe new ideas, new practices to try out as well, and yeah, keep learning from that as well, pretty much.
I do have a few questions, obviously, but I would also give the first
yeah,
voice to Mohini.
Hi, Mohini, can you hear us?
Yes, Max, I can hear.
Hi. Do you yeah, as mentioned, so at this point we usually try to foster a bit of like exchange of experience and ideas, and obviously if you have any questions, so yeah, maybe you can give a short introduction, and yeah, obviously go ahead with any questions you have to Pratik as well, or to us, or on the topic.
Yeah, sure. Just give me a second. I'm in my office and I'm just rushing to find the room so that I can be a little louder. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, sure. Maybe
I jump in then for the
yeah.
Pratik, thank you so much. Really great. I got a little bit, or I have a lot of questions actually on your slide where you had the 4 key elements, I believe you called them, or the key components. Specifically on the topic of how do you integrate that with the business goals. So I totally agree, that's super important. And we are actually currently thinking with multiple customers on how to do this. And I would be really curious to hear if you already have some experience in that field and how you're doing that.
Okay, so Christian, I would quickly give you insights about what I have implemented into my company recently. So we introduced last year LinkedIn Learning for all the employees over here at Qualys. So that was the key thing which we wanted to introduce for all the employees over here. And LinkedIn Learning, as you already know, right, it has a lot of courses involved into that, more than 24,000 courses, right? Again, it is being used by a lot of people already who are there on LinkedIn, right? So it is giving good insights to them. And that's how I did a lot of research earlier as well. I did a lot of, weightages for various other learning experience platforms, considering Udemy, Coursera, and many other stuff. I came to the conclusion that, LinkedIn Learning, why to select LinkedIn Learning? Because most of us are on LinkedIn, right? And second thing, LinkedIn Learning helps you integrate with most of the LMSs which are already there in place. So we use here Workday as an HCM, and that's how then the idea triggered to, why not integrate LinkedIn Learning with our HCM? Because Workday is our whole HCM, right, which has been utilized org-wide. And the major key thing here for me was, to help the employees go in one place, as I mentioned earlier as well, right? So Workday being our HCM, already employees are using that. Why not integrate LinkedIn with Workday, right? And that's how they can, utilize LinkedIn learnings from Workday itself. Another reason, to answer to your question about how we can, help this achieve the business strategies of the organizations. Now that, when we integrated Workday with LinkedIn Learning, so we have all the learner data in place in Workday itself, right? So we don't have to go back to LinkedIn and check the reports over there and come back. We have also designed, reporting, customized reports as well, which gives us the entire graphical presentations of, how many employees have accessed which of the courses, department-wise, if their courses are completed, not completed. There are red flags to the managers as well, and so on. At the same time, we have also given the managers the ability to create, programs using LinkedIn Learning courses into Workday Learning and to assign it to their team members. Now, why we have done this approach is because it gives more flexibility to the managers and more transparency to the managers from a reporting standpoint as well, right? So as a manager, I get to know that my employees, I have assigned these courses to my employees, and I get their progression into the graphical presentation or the reporting, which I can see, right? And in this way, it helps us to determine to the leadership team as well that, that this is what it is. Like the people have been utilizing tremendously LinkedIn's platform. So when we introduced this in the month of February last year, we saw a sharp, turnover of the employees using a lot of courses, right? The usage was quite high earlier, which was not there. So more than, like we had a count of around 2,800 plus employees over here. And, more than 2,600 people or 700 people have already completed a lot many courses, and they have spent more than 6,000 hours in total, right? So, which is a huge impact to the organization as well in today's world, if you speak. So that's the reason, as I mentioned, like integration with business goals is very important at key thing, right? Because that's how you can create a learning culture. Because when we speak on these aspects, right, what we exactly do in the backend is really mattering a lot, because it's all about giving the employees a good user experience, and also it helps in creating a learning culture as well.
Interesting. What we are currently discussing with our clients is if we should really start on a strategic level in the administrative part of the tool. So for example, say maybe really our strategic goal is we want to grow our revenue 20%. Now, what does that mean in breaking down to capabilities in the organization? So we might need more salespeople. We need to have onboardings for them. We might need to increase their selling capabilities. So we need to have some trainings for that. And then we align. So we have strategic goals and we align competencies that are needed to those strategic goals. And the competencies are then fed by trainings. And that could be a LinkedIn training, that could be a Microsoft training, it could be a coach, it could be whatever then is the right tool to achieve this capability. And then at the end of the process, we actually want to measure, ideally in the end, the biggest KPI, which is then, I don't know, revenue growth. Is the revenue really growing? And can we find out any regression coming from the trainings and the number, like ideally even broken down by individual, like how much is the sales increasing for the individuals, and what are they doing in the terms of training? What type of trainings? How intensively are they doing this? How well are they performing in the trainings? And all of this to really then find out not only this is the trainings we plan to achieve the goals, but which of the trainings and the measures that we do and the behavior of the people is really driving the impact so that we can continuously improve on this.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, interesting. Very, very good. The second question I had is on this continuous learning culture and encourage lifelong learning, access to resources. What kind of strategies do you have in place to motivate people to look into the content more often? Because I can remember, and I was in charge for learning and development in Siemens, but when I needed to do my compliance training every year, right? It's like this web-based training takes 1 hour. I was just clicking through it until I reached the end where I need to do the quiz. I do the quiz 1 or 2 or 3 times until I reach 80%. And then I'm done with my yearly learning, right? And I actually didn't learn much at all. So how do you grasp that? What kind of strategy?
Yeah. So Christian, to your question, like we being a cybersecurity company, we focus more on compliance part very critically. So there are compliance trainings which happen from time to time for the employees. The question about encouraging the employees to take these trainings, right? So usually we have the phishing emails going out on frequent basis. Okay. That's how we test the employee knowledge as well. We do conduct sessions, regularly on the phishing emails. We send mailers as well. Now, how to encourage them? That's a very big question and big challenge for most of the organizations, right? But what we do is over here is like, we encourage them. We first try to explain them the importance being a cybersecurity company, right? So every individual has an equal responsibility, right, towards being a cyber safe company. And that's, what exactly we need to do. We need to understand that the employees will have different perspectives, right? They will obviously say that, this is a compliance training and it's been a 1 hour training, right? Why should I do that? So we need to explain them that, the importance of the training, and accordingly, we see if there is some kind of gamification also into the trainings, right? It gives more of the interest to the employee to go and see to it, right? But if it's just a training, like let's take an example. If it's just a LinkedIn training, for example, which is just a speaker is speaking and just delivering the lecture, right? Obviously, it's going to get bored after a certain period of time, and no one has that 1 hour of duration, right, to go and watch the entire training. But if we break this 1 hour into different modules and having a gamification attached to that, is going to help the individuals, get motivated. Okay, this is some kind of gamification, right? Let me try the next module. Let me try the third module. And accordingly, in the gamification as well, we have few quizzes as well. So that's how then the employee gets the encouragement to come and have this trainings completed.
And what type of gamifications do you apply there, or what are you using?
So we have few KnowBe4 platform you might be aware about. So KnowBe4 is one of the platforms which is specialized into cybersecurity trainings. So they have various other tools. They have the phishing mailers which can be sent. They also have gamification, as I mentioned. So they have a few gamification series related to cybersecurity, like how to how to save anyone from locking your laptop, or how to have that phishing attacks been avoided, how to avoid social engineering. So various topics are there which has been organized into a gamification module. Again, not just gamification, there are few scenarios, like there are few episodes as well, like wherein there are scenarios, real-time based scenarios which happen, which have been shown to the participants, and that's how the training and encouragement has been taken to them.
I understand. Yeah, interesting. I know there's like, in the gaming world, there's actually quite some games where people, for example, need to play a custom officer and they need to check the documents, and then they say, okay, you are allowed to pass or you're not allowed to pass. And actually in the cybersecurity world, that's a perfect way of, like, it would be a one-to-one translation, and let people really play this, cybersecurity detective or whatever, and then find them out and bust some of the cyber criminals, and I think that would work really, really well. Interesting. Cool. Thank you so much. A lot of great input. And I guess Mohini already found a room by now.
Yes, that's right. I'm in a room now. So Pratik, I had some similar questions that Christian has already asked, and you have answered very well. Thank you for sharing your inputs on that. I'm a trainer associated with Wipro Limited, working out of Delhi, India.
Okay.
There are, Christian already talked about that continuous learning has been a challenge across all the organizations. Now, when you talked about gamification, I understand that, this is one of the new technology that the organization are actually planning to adapt. But there are a couple of topics or maybe domains wherein we cannot get into the gamification strategy. What kind of different strategies you can share that could be implemented in case those are typically related to some critical complex processes?
So, as I mentioned, it's not just about gamification, but, how we as an L&D professionals, drive this in a better way, right? So to your question, how for the critical processes, if you want to train someone, right, how to motivate them to do that. So, what you can do is you can have learner challenges created. I did into my previous organization as well, and it was a very big hit. So learner challenges, it doesn't give the employee a wrong message that, let you have to do this because it's a critical thing, or you have to do this because we are, putting pressure on you to do that, right? But if you have the learner challenges in place, right, so what you can do is you can just tweak this, critical trainings which you want to have the employees go through that. And obviously, if there is some kind of learner challenge been created, right? So employees are going to get motivated because that's going to be a challenge, right? To be completed for the maybe a set of department members or the entire company as well, or so on. So that can be one option which can be doable, because learner challenges can be a quite big hit. And as an when you gradually progress, right? So that is going to help you a lot. Apart from that, a session awareness sessions as well, or you can have one-to-one coaching for employees as well. If there is a shorter team, you can have one-to-one coaching for them. It can be called as speed coaching as well, wherein you can inform them the importance of critical training or the critical processes which are there into place into your company, right? And that's how you can have a peer-to-peer learning invented as well within the organization. So all these aspects, bits and pieces together can help you achieve your goals.
Sure, Pratik. Thank you so much for sharing that. Another challenges that I have seen or I have been facing is in regards to there at times what happens is that when we have attrition, so that is one of the challenge wherein when we have less of seasoned colleagues and more of new hires. So the dependency on the seasoned colleagues obviously is increased. However, knowing that the seasoned colleagues are already burdened or maybe pressurized with a lot of work, and they again need to manage new hires, uh, is this something? So how we are doing is that being an L&D partner, how we do is that we plan some level 2 trainings. We do some, like you talked about, doing coaching and providing feedback to the new hires, or maybe in case we find out any knowledge gaps, we plan some additional sessions for them so that we can help them to speed up to the proficiency and understand the process well. However, is there something, are there some different strategies that could help us in helping the new hires to speed up their learning curve?
So yeah, thank you, Mohini, for your question. So I'll just give a small example what I have introduced into my company and what initiatives I have been bringing in. So when we started from the interns, right from the interns, right? So when we have interns for the internship, we have created pathways for them. We have created learning programs for them. So usually the internship period here is for 6 months. So what I have done is I have divided this into 3 phases. So, every 2 months they get a set of different training programs which they need to undergo. It has been based upon soft skills as well as technical skills. So basically, basic Java programming, then, PHP programming, then Kubernetes and so on. So all the technologies which we have been using. So we give them, a set of programs to be completed every 2 months from the intern level itself. Why? Because, once they do that, obviously we do a timely check-in with the managers as well, how the interns progress has been, into rest of the trainings from the technical as well as the soft skill perspective. So what happens is this gives the managers as well as me as an L&D professional or the manager to get the leverage of the employees that, how they have been progressing. Second thing to add to this is it gives us and, a way forward to convert them into full-time employees. By the time we convert them into the full-time employees, or, what happens is they have half of the knowledge gained about the processes, right? Because they have spent almost 6 months into the organization projects, right? And initially when they are, what the most important aspect to add to this is what we have done is we have also introduced buddy system. So every individual or the intern or the fresh engineer has a buddy introduced. So that buddy's responsibility is to give them an overview, help them in, so they are, associated with the live projects as well, although they don't have measure of it to handle. But at the same time, the interns or the fresh engineers get to understand, how the process works, how the, product design has been done, what all things are behind that and so on. So by the time we convert them, or by the time, say, the probation period is over, we make sure that, at least 90% of the hires which we have taken are, in a good position to be converted to full-time employee, right? And apart from that, as you mentioned, like, about the senior managers or the managers, have a lot of bandwidth, a lot of workload, and how they can focus upon the new hires. So the buddy system is something which can be helpful to bridge the gap between these two.
Sure. Yeah. Thanks, Pratik. Yeah, these are really insightful, ideas that you have shared.
No problem.
Yeah, thanks, Pratik.
But can I ask, Mohini, what are some of the things that you might have already implemented in that space? Because I think also would be interesting for Pratik to learn a little bit more what you're doing in this already.
Yeah, sure. So Pratik just mentioned about creating a framework. What we have done is that we have created a learning path for the new hires. So we already have that in place. Not only for new hires, we have also created some of the learning paths. So when we talk about learning, it is not only that, we just keep the colleagues or associates involved in learning, and then they feel as if they are not getting anything out of the continuous learning that, that they are going through. So for some of the employees who have already spent, let's say that, we have started one program last year and it has been successful. So we picked one of the specific role, which we thought that, it is one of the critical role. Why? Because those set of employees are managing some critical and complex processes and clients of US. So we thought that, they are already working so hard, and they should be actually getting motivated, not only in terms of helping them to grow their learning curve, but also how we can also help them to grow in their career. So the pathway that we created for such employees, it was like we created a 6-month journey for such employees, and covering the major aspects, which include some of the complex behavioral aspects, complex skills, like let's say that, when we talk, I am aligned to both operations and chat processes. So this program that I'm talking about is specific to operations backend team, wherein they do not have that kind of exposure in terms of leading calls while with the clients or maybe with the vendors. So this program that we have created has helped them to enhance their call essential skills, their client management skills, and their problem solving skills, bringing thinking out of the box, bringing solutions on the table, discussing that, why they feel that these things have not went right, and what additional, what better they could have done in a scenario. So Pratik also talked about that, bringing in real life scenarios. So as a part of the 6-month journey, we have divided the journey into different aspects or components. One is that we will be covering the, like I mentioned, behavioral skills, which include some of the important aspects like client management, call essentials, and risk management, problem solving skills, and all. The second component of this program has been into role play sessions. So giving them a real life scenario and asking them to enact on the scenario, so that we can get the gist of, whether these employees are able to actually prepare to be on a call with the client or vendor. Will they be able to provide the exact, exact, maybe the information or the solution that the clients are actually expecting from the employees to hear? Because the client would not want to just hear the assumptions. Rather, are these employees having the right data, facts, and figures? These colleagues are having those skills of being, presentable in front of client while they are on the call. Are they able to analyze the risk within that scenario, or are they able to think out of the box, the critical thinking aspect, whether what if a solution is not working? Are they prepared with some alternate solutions to be able to provide to the client? Because the client will never wait to hear a no. Rather, they would be happy if we are bringing more solutions to them, because here we are to provide solutions to the client, and we are not seeking solutions. Rather, we are the consultants, and we would like to provide the answers to the client, so that they are convinced and they know that, the work that they have outsourced to us is in the safer hands. This is the second aspect or the component of the program. And third is that we are doing the buddy up sessions within this program, like Pratik already talked about. So buddy up session is on the complex skills or on the complex processes that we have assigned some seasoned employees who will be, sitting along with these employees. They will be showing how the process, end-to-end process works. And then the final is that, the last component is that out of all these, once they have completed the entire journey, at the end, they will be doing a teach back. And here we'll be observing them as to what they have learned out of this entire journey. Are they able to take the key takeaways from these sessions or not? And finally, the assessment.
Krishna, you're on mute.
You're muted.
Yeah.
Sorry for that. I see you're already on a super high level there. You really have a well structured program in place. That's really great.
Thank you so much.
And I think actually what you say, this practicing sessions and really having this role playing, I think you called it role playing sessions.
Yeah.
That's once a month, or how often are you doing that?
Yeah, so it's once a month. There are two different programs that we are running. One is specific to specific. So one is wherein we have created a pipeline for some of the. So we have this benefits operations administrators here, and we have created a pipeline. So through this journey, the 6-month journey, we have created a pipeline for such employees. So we identify the top-notch colleagues who are already performing well, and then giving them an opportunity to enhance and sharpen their skills in terms of the client management, the process management, everything, project management. And then once this journey is completed, basis the assessment, and I mentioned teach back assessment. So we do give them a scoring, then the feedback, observations, and then that is where they are given a go ahead or no. The colleagues who actually get a go ahead, it becomes easier for them and for the managers, for the business. Why? Because they've already completed the journey and they were able to score the right criteria that we have, the parameter, the passing scores that we have kept. So with the different scores and the different parameters that we have in place, the manager, the leaders get that insight that, whether these colleagues will be able to perform well in the next role or not. So this helps the colleague to not only, speed up the learning curve, but it is also helping them to move the ladder up. So we have seen that, last year we were able to promote 42% of the colleagues through this learning journey, the program that I talked about. So that was a very big success for us as an L&D partner, and for the business as well. The second, though this learning journey is already, covering the role plays, however, there is another set of role play practical sessions that we are conducting for a specific set of colleagues. This is basically basis the different data that we have picked up, or the data that we have collected from the respective managers, business leaders, clients, and everything, wherein they feel that, these employees need some brushing up, or they are not that good in, let's say that, like I talked about, project management is one of the component. So basis the client feedback or the manager feedback, when we did this analysis, we got to see that, there were 30 odd employees who were not good in managing the projects. So they were not able to do a multitasking. They were not able to prioritize the projects that they were leading. So that is where we came up with another set of program, which is completely into helping the colleagues to enhance their project management skills by, so it's a 80-20 learning pathway that we are following, which means that a combination of self-learning and the ILTs, instructor-led sessions. So this is how we are helping these colleagues to enhance their skills, grow, and be able to manage the projects in the upcoming future.
Sadly, I don't have much time today, and I do have a follow-up call soon, but I would really like to catch up with you on this topic to, first of all, understand a little bit more. And the reason is I want to learn from you for a tool that we're building at the moment. It's called the AI Coach. And in this AI Coach, you can simulate these conversations, and you have the AI directly giving feedback to the learners on what they can improve in the conversation and what not. And I would like to understand a little bit more on the type of scenarios that you would put into such a simulation so that people can practice, and what is the input that would be needed, and what would be especially also the output. So one thing is the feedback for the employee so they can improve and get better, but also you might have those coaches or you know, other people that look, or the trainers that look at what the conversations in those practice scenarios were, and then maybe providing additional coaching sessions and stuff like that. And I would really like to hear your input and ideas on how that could be used.
Sure, I'll be more than happy to have a discussion.
Right.
Yeah. And Christian, you just talked about AI, so I would also like to, you know, see as to how these simulations can be, linked to AI and how we can support our business. So this would be a new learning for me if we can have some, you know, ideas shared on that. Maybe I could pick up some and get it implemented in my area.
Sure. Definitely.
Yeah.
Right. I'll drop you an email outside. I think you registered with your email, so I probably should find it.
Yeah. Yes.
Right. Cool. Good.
Right. Then, yeah, I think we can probably conclude this this event. Again, thank you so much, Pratik, for taking your time today and presenting us your insights, and also giving a lot of very good input afterwards as well. So really thank you for being on today, and thanks Mohini as well for dropping by. Let's keep in touch, connect outside of the event as well, and maybe we see you back next time as well.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Sure.
Mac.
Thanks,
Thank you, Christian.
everyone.
Thank you, Mohini. Take
Thank
care.
you.
Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.